All right, everybody, you know what time it is. The Real Talk Sports Show is coming up right now. Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister Jonathan Simmons, and we're excited for those of you who decided to join us here this evening here on the Real Talk Sports Show. We thank you so much for doing that, and we're going to give a big shout out immediately on social media to our man Sullivan. Sully says, "Oh shucky ducky, it's the one and only old man Sully's in the building." And speaking of old man, I got to tell you something, guys. I realized that the ministers, whoo, Lord, I didn't even know if I was be able to do the show tonight, guys. I'll be honest with you. I'm so tired that I had ate my dinner and trying to eat it early, get ready for the show, and I fell asleep and started nodding at the kitchen table. I was like, oh, so I was like, oh my gosh, am I gonna make it? But yeah, thankfully we're in the middle of it. Yeah, yes, the minister Jonathan Simmons is in the building. And like I said, we just came back from Las Vegas. Those of you who are who follow us, you know that we were doing some live streaming. We actually watched the game with a host of others at the fabulous what's it called again? See, I just drew a blank. My mind went "Woo-doo-doo." Anyway, one of the casino hotels there in Las Vegas. Big crowd was there, as you expect. Pretty equal between Chiefs and 49ers fans. And like you said, it really was a really epic game, really probably a legendary game, not probably, definitely a legendary game, one of the great Super Bowl games of all time. But want to get some feedback tonight, is guys. Every time you have a situation where things are close or there are some questionable calls by the coaches or referees, people immediately about the outcome of the game being altered. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I'd like to get you guys' opinion on that. Really, the big question is, do you think that Kansas City won the game, or do you think that Frisco blew the game? Now, I know a lot of Atlanta fans feel some kind of way against Kyle Shanahan, so like to have your opinion. Did the Chiefs win it, or did, in fact, you know, did the 49ers blow the game? So I'm going to put that up on social media so you guys can see it. The Chiefs win Super Bowl, or not bull bowl, or in fact did sorry for that squinty face. I got a text. I was trying to read the text. I don't have my glasses on right now. The Chiefs win the Super Bowl, or did Frisco or did 49ers blow it? That's the first question we're going to ask you guys today. And 'cause I know you guys want to get right into Super Bowl talk. I also want to talk a little bit about the Atlanta Hawks, but I think that everybody wants to talk Super Bowl right off the rip. So we'll kind of get into that very, very quickly and talk about that. Like you said, again, we won't have our full 90-minute show today. I'm going to try to get to the 60 minutes, but I got to tell you, the minister running on fumes, running on fumes. But I was glad I was able to get out there and get to Las Vegas. I'd never been to Las Vegas before. It was interesting being there. Kind of really not my vibe per se. A little too glitzy for me, I think. But at the end of the day, it was interesting seeing that. I wasn't familiar with the landscape, and hopefully, I get some pictures up so you guys can take a look at what I saw, the mountains and so forth. There really was beautiful, outside of all the glitter and glitz of the actual casinos, which were as advertised. Man, lights popping at night, a lot of stuff going on. But like I said again, we want to see if we can show you guys a little bit of that at some point during the broadcast once I get my sea legs under me, and then again get your opinion on what you guys thought about the Super Bowl. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to get myself together here. So I'm going to. Why my phone's pinging like crazy? Hey, I'm gonna say something real quick. This is gonna be a little mini rant for those of you who have things going on like events, and you're trying to reach people. Man, don't use a group text, please. That's one I gotta tell you. That's one of my pet peeves. I hate that, man. When people, because now my phone is pinging like crazy. Everybody's trying to answer this group text. I'm gonna tell you right now. If you put the minister on a group text, I might cut you off. Just say it, man. I mean, doggone it. Because anyway, all right. Let me not take a woosah. Let me take a woosah moment. Let me take a time out and take a break and get myself together here, so we can do this show properly, because you guys deserve nothing but the best. You guys have stayed with us through ups and downs and sideways, so we want to make sure we do a good sports show for you. Like I say again, we are going to have some clips here of what I saw in Vegas with my own little eyes. We'll let you guys take a look at that. We'll also hopefully have some words from the lovely Miss Tree Dolman, because she actually participated in an event that we covered during the Super Bowl week. So that's it. And there it is. All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put the question up right here on social media. You guys see it already. The question is, did the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, or did the 49ers just blow it with bad play calls? I want to get your guys' opinion. Like I say again, we're gonna go to break in just about a minute or so. And then we'll come back and answer the question. And also we're gonna let you guys, like I said again, take a look at kind of the visuals that I saw when I was in Las Vegas. Like I said, I've never been to Vegas before, and although all of the nifty bling and the lights and stuff were kind of impressive, at the end of the day, there was nothing more impressive than the natural that I saw that the Lord had put up. I mean, just the backdrop of the mountains and stuff like that was really incredible. So I'm gonna let you guys take a look at that in just a little bit, and then we'll get set. I think Tree is somewhere in the green room, so we'll get her in with us, and then we'll chop it up as we do with the Real Talk Sports Show. So keep it locked right here. We'll be back with more of the show in just a few minutes. Keep it locked. Keep it locked. Keep it locked right here. More of the show. Hey, hang in there. Hold on. Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions, or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net.
Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm Aria, the first AI presenter for Real Talk Sports. We want to get your feedback about my participations in the show, so please leave comments. So stay tuned, the Real Talk Sports Show is coming up.
Much to my amazement, Las Vegas sits in a valley between snow-capped mountains. A beautiful sight. Look at God's handiwork. Coming up again right now. And so I want to let you guys see that. That was an absolutely spectacular view that I saw as I was pulling into, and I finally remember the name of the hotel, the Palms Hotel, is where I watched the game. with a host of others. Really set up, and I like to call the Palms kind of the working man's casino. They actually had a food court where regular people could buy food. Some of the other casinos, man, the cost of buying like anything, like I bought. Well, anyway, we'll talk about it a little bit later. Because in the green room is one of the most beautiful women in sports talk radio or TV. We simply call her the Queen. Tree Dolman is in the building. What's going on, Tree?
Nothing much. Hi, Jonathan. Hi, everybody.
Well, she back too. Tree went to Las Vegas as well. And hold on a second. I gotta get close up, boys. Hold on. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. Super Bowl 58 is real, boys. She was
Yes.
really in Las Vegas, shining, shining, shining. If you guys have not seen it, I'm going to try to get this up here so you guys can take a peek at this. But just tremendous event that we covered that Tree was a part of. And it was the NFL Off the Field Wise fashion show. It's something I cover every single year. And hopefully we can get a clip of the Queen herself on the runway. We're trying to cue that up here. Like I said, we are engineerless. So we'll do the best we can to get that up here before the show is over. All right, Tree, how did you enjoy the trip? Did you I know it's not your first time in Vegas, but how did you enjoy everything?
I enjoyed it. It was phenomenal, and every day traffic got worse and worse and worse. But I expected that. It was wonderful seeing so many people. But the craziest part is everybody's schedule was so busy that some of my friends that were staying at the same hotel as I was, we still couldn't find time to see each other. That's how
Isn't
busy
that
our
crazy?
schedules were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was crazy. And people called me. A couple people called me and said, "Hey, we're in town." I never saw them. I mean, I never got a
Yeah.
chance to just anything. I mean, I called on the phone a couple of times. Oh yeah, man, we're gonna get together. We'll watch the game somewhere. Eh, None of that
Yeah.
actually happened. Yeah, it
It
was
was
really
crazy, but I enjoyed myself. I had a lot of fun. I told you that the wives, we played our NFL flag football game and my team won. I scored 2 or 3 touchdowns. I can't remember because I know I had an opportunity to score about 5 or 6. So I'm a perfectionist and I hate messing up. And I had no clue that the ball was going to be smaller. I played flag football a couple of times with Eric Matthews with his foundation, and I always played with former NFL players. I was the only female. And then one time there was another female, Santia, who's a professional football player. But we played with a men's ball, and that's the ball that I'm used to. So they did not tell us that we were playing with a little tiny football. So, needless to say, my quarterback, she was throwing rockets, like serious rockets, and the ball was smaller. So I was like, why am I not catching the ball? Because I can catch the ball very well and I can throw it very well. But I was like, something's wrong with the ball. And they were like, oh, it's a smaller ball. I was like, oh, why didn't you tell me that? I could have bought a ball and could have trained. So I scored about 2 or 3 touchdowns. I played great defense and I swatted out a couple of balls and stopped the other team from scoring. And my team won. So I'm very excited about that. It was really fun. And then also with the off the field wives, off the field NFL Wives Association. It was so much fun modeling in the fashion show and just seeing all of the wives come up there. I will say that right before the finale, when all of the husbands came backstage to walk their wives down the runway, I was backstage and I just lost it. I could not get myself together. And I appreciate the fellow wives who was consoling me and trying to make me feel better. And I was just trying to get myself, get my face together. So when I came back out there, people couldn't tell I was backstage crying. But it was a lot of fun. I'm honored that I was able to be one of the models in our fashion show. I love that it's for charity. And I'm not sure if you told everybody, but we had SWV performing. So they performed 3 songs, and it was pretty awesome because for those of you who don't know, Taj, Eddie George's wife, she's a member of Off the Field. And so it was just a fun all around time. And thank you, Jonathan, for coming to support and getting the video that I posted on my page and that you both posted of me walking down the runway. It was so nice to see you out in Vegas. Hey, Sullivan.
Sully's in the building, and funny you should mention that about you being on the runway because my virtual producer has queued up the cue. So, guys, I'm just telling you right now, hold on tight. Uh, don't get overexcited because here is the legendary, beautiful Tree doing what she does best, rocking the runway. Here we go. That was just a small clip, guys. If you want to see the rest of it, I had to kind of edit it up to get a little bit more footage. Go on to either Tree's YouTube page or Purple Diva 13, or go on to the Real Talk Sports #7 page, and you will see Tree moving in her glory. Now, hopefully, we will not get a flag on YouTube for doing copyrighted music. But here's a little clip of SWV.
To have one. Shout out to the football wives. Give them a round of applause tonight. Off the field. So y'all ready?
They queued up them just chatting it up, so I won't get no trouble for that. But as you can see, guys, SWV was in the building. Just a phenomenal event. All the ladies were really strutting their stuff. And it was just, yeah, it was just a phenomenal event. I like to cover it every year. Let's go back to social media here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get some of Sully's comments real quick here. First of all, he said, how about them Lions?
Woo!
A lot of Lions
How about
fans.
them Lions? One pride.
He said, just wants to have some fun. And Sully said, okay, now February's here. It's time for us to have lunch at his location.
I was thinking about that, Sullivan. I said, you know what? We got to pick a date and time. I'm off of my fast. So now I can eat, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm still training for something else that I'm not letting the cat out of the bag yet, but I can go ahead and I can eat. And then it's back to the strict diet. But I can't wait, and I'm so looking forward to coming to your restaurant. We're going to have a blast and eat some good food.
We certainly are. And see, this is what I knew was going to happen. If I knew there'd be a danger if I put the clip out of Tree in all her glory because, well, you'll read it, Tree.
Ah, Todd. He's so sweet.
Talk about the fallout.
Don't have a heart attack.
Oh my gosh. And Miss Donna from the Washington, D.C. area. Yes, indeed.
There you go, girl. You look beautiful, Miss Tree. Thank you so much, Donna. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and I'm just glad I followed my mind. So normally when I cover these events, I try to explain to the people there that I don't have one of those big boy TV cameras, so I need to get a little bit closer. And so I guess I didn't make that clear. So I get to the event and they're like, okay, all press 5th floor balcony. And so I was up there for a while, try to do the best I can. I said, no, this is not going to work. So I said, okay, I'm going down. So literally about 2 or 3 minutes before you came on the runway, I just kind of got in a position down there near the other photographers. And next thing I saw you. So I'm glad I was able to get down there and get a real good shot. Shelly says that, let's see here.
My friend Deion Jones was there. Okay.
Yeah, and see, that's the other thing. I missed all the Falcons. I missed the only Falcon I saw was former Falcon Warrick Dunn. That's the only guy I could get. The rest of the guys, I missed them because we were all just running around. I don't know, Trey, I think you mentioned it earlier. It seemed like the schedule was either more full or tighter this year than the previous years. I mean, it just seemed like there was really just no break.
Well, the schedule was, I don't want to say hectic because I know for weeks like this that's what we want. That's the whole purpose of being there.
No, I get it. Right.
My schedule, it was hard to get a break. I didn't get any rest. Like when I flew back, last night, I slept about 10 and a half hours and my body needed it. Okay. So I was exhausted, but I saw so many football players out there and just so many people, especially at our hotel. I was staying at Caesar's Palace. When I tell you any and everybody was staying there, it was so many people. You look left, you look right. I kept seeing people I know, people I didn't know. And another thing that I thought was interesting, but it really made me smile, was I can't tell you how many people saw me in the fashion show. And later when I'm walking through Vegas, because I went shopping and doing different things, everybody kept saying like, oh my goodness, you did so great in the fashion show. And I was like, oh, thanks. I'm like, oh, I didn't think you were there, so that was just nice to see how many people supported our off the field NFL Wives annual fashion show because it is for charity. And that's our biggest fundraising event that we do every year. So it really just touched my heart to see how many people complimented me. And then so many people were sending me text messages. And then also while I was walking, I'm a model. I like to scan the crowd while I'm walking. I make eye contact so I don't just look at a wall. You know, I like to be personable. And it was just so nice seeing so many faces of people who I knew when I was out there, and also hearing people cheer me on. So thank you to anybody who was out there cheering me on and smiling for me. You really did make my heart smile. Like I said, towards the end of the fashion show was tough to get through, but I know that my hubby wanted me to do it. He already had told me when he was alive that he wanted me doing stuff like that. So I know that I continue to make him proud, but thank you again. It was just an honor to model, and it's an honor to be a part of Off the Field Player NFL Wives. I'm sorry, I keep saying players because at one point it was Off the Field Player Wives, but now it's Off the Field NFL Wives. Now we can actually use the name NFL. Before we couldn't, so that's why I keep slipping up.
and that's another thing to point out. You guys, actually, that event is an official NFL Super Bowl sanctioned event. It's not just, you know, some run-of-the-mill fundraiser. It is sanctioned. It's on the program. If you get your Super Bowl list of events, you will see it right there, front and center. Great stuff. And here's what I'm gonna do really quickly here. I'm actually gonna show a clip of one of the wives I interviewed last year. So let's take a quick look at that as we talk about the great things that the wives do.
All right, guys, we are at the NFL Players Wives Fashion Show, and this young lady, as you can see with her beautiful outfit, worked the carpet. She's going to introduce herself to you right now.
Hi, I'm Tamiko McKenzie, and I'm a proud board member of Off the Field NFL Wives Association. And today we just had a wonderful, fabulous 22nd annual fashion show, and it was a great success. Happy to be here in Phoenix at the Scottsdale Mall. Thank you.
Great.
Oh, I love her. She was
Yep.
one of the models that was right by me. She's so awesome. I didn't even know she was one of our board members.
Yep, those are great job. All you guys do a great job, and like I said, I was just happy I was able to be out there and cover it, so everybody could kind of see some of the great stuff going on. And guys, we will be doing updates as we
Yes.
go forward. Like Tree, when I got home, my daughter looked at me because literally I was going to text you and say I think I'm going to only do about a half an hour, because
Yeah.
literally before I came on, I was eating dinner and I fell asleep at the kitchen
You were
table.
falling asleep. That was me
Right.
yesterday. I was falling
I was like,
asleep. Yes, I
and
get
my
it.
and my
Yeah.
daughter looked at me. She said, "Dad, you gonna do the show?" I said, "Yeah, I kind of got to do the show." I said, "You know, we people expect us to do it. We want to come on." I said, "I can't do an hour and a half." I said, "But I'll go as long as I possibly can." But yeah, I was just,
Yeah.
what I made a mistake in doing is that I have to remember that the way, like, I kind of have things set up now, is I do better when I'm doing mobile. And what I said, well, okay, I'm gonna possibly on Radio Row, and I took my entire equipment, my mixer, microphones, and that bag that I had, that thing had to weigh about 50 pounds, and I'm just, from pulling that thing around and lugging, I am just exhausted. And then of course every night you get home late from every event, and you leave in the morning, come back home at 11 or whatever. It was just,
Yeah.
yeah, it was, it was rough on the old body, but nevertheless, I really, I'm glad I was able to do it. I
Me
will tell
too.
you now, a couple of people kind of saw this on social media, hear me made reference to it. The trip started off very badly. Yeah, we had a situation where we could not get our rented car initially because of some ID situations. I had to go to a non-major rental car company, and when I got there, that became an odyssey. And then peace to the stones. The next day, I'm refreshed. I come out at 7:30, and I'm about to hop in my car, and my car was not in the parking space where I had it because the car had been towed.
What? You didn't tell me that.
Well, I'm telling you now, car was towed.
Oh my goodness, Jonathan.
Yeah, I'm outside the Airbnb, and it's my fault because the people on the Airbnb said, "Hey, kind of like we have parking around the corner." And I didn't realize in Las Vegas they're very strict about you parking in no parking zones, which they don't have signs. They're just the sidewalk is painted red. So I'm like, I kind of parked. I thought I was up enough on the garage area that I was good. And I said, okay, once I kind of get myself together, I'll go down and move the car. Well, you know what happened? I fell asleep, and the next morning, car was gone. I had to get it out
Wow.
of the impound.
Wow.
So suffice to say that my start was pretty poor, and I actually thought about aborting the mission. I was like,
Well, I'm glad you did not.
we did not. We hung in there.
Wow.
All right, let's
Can
go
I
here.
can I
Go
give
ahead,
a couple of shout outs before?
please.
Okay, so I just want to say a couple of things. One, I want to thank Off the Field NFL Wives Fashion Show Committee, the volunteers, and our board members, because I'm going to post some videos and pictures online. But one of the things that they have for us, every model, we got a Lululemon outfit. So thank you also to Lululemon for sponsoring us. They gave us pants, leggings, and a jacket. And then we got an Off the Field Wives tank top, which I love. And then we got, I want to thank Creed. I want to thank Cantu. I want to thank all of the volunteers who are backstage. And I really want to say a special thank you to Lux. If you see the full length dress that I had on, it really felt like and looked like that dress was made for me. It was long enough and it was very beautiful. And I want to thank the owners of the Lux store in the Venetian Hotel, because they were so kind. And when I went and fitted, it was really awesome. So if you're ever in Las Vegas, make sure you go to the Venetian and shop at Lux. They have a lot of bling for men and women. Their clothes were really phenomenal. I had to get out of the store because I wanted to buy so many things. But I just wanted to say thank you to those people and all of our sponsors. We got a beautiful model bag that was huge. I actually had to mail it to myself because I couldn't even take anything back, and it was so heavy. So just thank you to all of our sponsors and supporters. I just wanted to say that. So thank you, Jonathan.
No, absolutely good stuff. And you also want obviously shout out those people. I will say the Venetian is a spectacular location, but for those of you who are the anyway, the guys who ain't familiar with the program, please, as a reminder, if you're ever going to an event that is something like that, try to get yourself some bottled water and bring it in your bag, maybe a snack, because if you try to get something when you're down, it's gonna be a surprise. I had to pay $7.50 for bottled water, which had a Venetian label on it. So just saying, and it tasted. I guess I could kind of taste the Venetian flavor. I'm not quite sure, but I'm just saying.
Water
At the end
does
of the
have
day,
taste.
yeah. So I just said to myself, now I know what's going on. Let's go back to social media here, and I guess Sully is saying that his birthday is the same as Deion Jones, maybe. All right.
What do you think about my new Shucky Ducky head coach for the Atlanta Falcons? I'm
We're gonna talk about
excited.
that later on. Yep, we're gonna talk about that later on. We
Okay.
also want to give a big shout out. Sully saw the dress again. All he said was, "Oh Lord."
Thank you, Sullivan.
All right, for those of you latecomers, you probably wonder what the heck these guys are talking about. Okay, I'm gonna flash it up again one more time. This is a quick clip of Tree working the room. I will admit, guys, you noticed my hand was a little shaky because I was overwhelmed. I mean, Tree came out, I'm used to seeing Tree all the time, but I had not seen her in person in her full regalness. So she's walking toward me. I'm like, okay, keep the camera still. All right, keep the camera still. Whoa, look, that's Tree. That's our Tree right there. Whoo, she looks really great. So yes, guys, I understand. I was going through the same thing. No worries. No worries at all. Yeah, we are going to talk about the Falcons' new head coach, on what you guys think about that. I know Todd has hit me up via text. I don't think Todd has completely bought in yet, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay. I can't wait to hear, Todd. Can't wait to hear.
Yep, I don't know if he's bought in. And then we are going to talk for a split second before we get into Falcons talk. We do want to talk a quick second about the Hawks. They did unfortunately lose to the Bulls last night, kind of breaking their streak. They had won 6 of their last 8 games and really were playing outstanding basketball, but we'll talk about that in a minute. We're going to take a quick little break, and then we'll be back with more of what? The Real Talk Sports Show. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't you go nowhere.
Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
We're back here, guys, and you are listening and watching and tuned in to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister Jonathan Simmons, and right next to me is the lovely and beautiful Miss Tree Dolman.
Thank you.
All right.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
I'll wait till we get into football. I have some exciting news, Jonathan. I'll wait till we get into football because it's football related.
I like that. I like the breaking news. All right, let's go to social media here. We got a shout out from Mr. Vincent Turner.
Vincent Turner, God bless. Good show. Hi, Vincent. Thank you.
Now, I'm going to tell you guys something. I've mentioned it on several broadcasts, but I want to mention it again since he's actually watching the show. What you guys may not know, Vince is the guy that actually got me started doing this. He had a show that he was doing on WIGO with him and a couple of really good guys. And one day I was driving and actually heard the show, and I decided to call in. And I wasn't going to call in at first. It happened twice. And then literally a voice said to me, I believe it was the Lord, the next time they say callers call in, you call. You know, because normally when you call in sports shows, you're on for you hang on for a long time. I didn't want to do that. So I called in, they picked up right away, and Vince let me talk for about 3 or 4 minutes. And then afterwards, he had the guy that engineers the show say, hey, listen, he wants to talk to you. I spoke to Vince, and we had some conversation over the next 2 or 3 weeks. And that was the start. After about 3 weeks, we officially named the show the Real Talk Sports Show. And here we are 15 years later covering Super Bowls and stuff like that. So I'm always indebted to Vince. He said he saw some talent somewhere. So he encouraged me to get in there and stay in there. So Mr. Turner, big shout out. The man from the 901, Memphis, Tennessee. Appreciate you, bro. Yes, sir.
That's my heart cricket. There we go.
Right. Sully said, I guess it was his son's birthday
the other day. Happy birthday to your son.
Yep.
What did you guys do? His son's birthday was on Sunday. What did you guys do, Sullivan? Outside of watching the Super Bowl, did he want to do something else?
Well, hopefully he'll get a comment. There's about a 10-second delay from the comments popping up here, so I'm sure he will let us know what's going on. Okay, we're going to shift a little quickly here before we get into more football because it's all about football now, last game of the season and all the big stuff going on. Okay, hang on. Sully got the answer. I told you a 10-second delay.
Oh, Chuck E. Cheese. Listen, Sullivan, I am the biggest kid in the world. I love Chuck E. Cheese. I haven't been in quite a while because my nephews, they're grown now. But, oh, my goodness, that's so much fun.
Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese, you're getting the full Monty with Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, you get everything you need there. Good snacking food. You got lots of stuff to do. So yeah, Chuck E. Cheese. And I didn't realize that. I mean, I knew it was a chain, but I didn't realize how big they were, a national chain. Because literally, I saw one. I think it was either on the back end of the strip or off the strip. I saw it right in there where all the rest of the restaurants. Yep, Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. He had too much money. You do spend a lot of money in there, I will say. Now right. that is true. The pizza, the prizes, but listen, I can't complain because my father, I had every toy that they had, just about, at least every toy that I wanted.
What you say, Tree? You had one of everything?
Everything that I wanted. Yeah.
There you go. Well, we're going to get back to football, but just want to review quickly the fortunes and misfortunes of the Atlanta Hawks. I was really excited there, Tree, for a minute. They looked like they were balling out. They were doing some great stuff, and they had won 4 straight games at home, closed out well in the homestand, 6 of their last 8 ball games. I'm like, okay, the Hawks are in it. They're back. But then as this team always does, the frustration of the inconsistency against the Bulls. Once again, the defense went. Trey and DeJounte both had bad shooting nights, and the Hawks end up losing 136 to 126. Tree, I don't know what to do. I'm just at which end. So I'm gonna have you do this for a second.
Why?
I'm gonna have you take it away for 1 second because I gotta get the
Okay.
plug for my laptop, lest we be off there. So take it away.
Okay, we
Just
don't want
give me
that.
give me some
Okay, so I'll take
yeah,
it
give me
away
some
while
feedback.
Jonathan's doing that. So I just want to say, I don't understand why people get so hurt when the Hawks win some games and then they lose. So people do realize how many games they play in the season, right? So it's okay. They cannot win every game. Even the teams that are in first place, second place, third place, even the teams that make it to the playoffs, even the teams that win championships, they have a lot of losses. So I never really get too concerned. Now, I do realize that we're getting close to NBA All-Star break. Once we come back from NBA All-Star break, that is when I start really paying attention, because that's when the teams they take it up a notch. We all know that, because okay, it's after our break. We have to make sure that we're in good standing, and that's when we'll start seeing. So I'm not worried right now. I think it was great that we won some games in a row, and we lost by 10 points. So it's not like it was a blowout. It's going to happen sometimes. But I'm very excited about the Hawks. I still think that there's a couple of pieces that we need to make the team really whole. But I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think that the Trey is playing pretty awesome right now. I hope that he continues, and I'm sure that he will continue to play that way. DeJounte, I mean, I'm excited for our roster. You guys know I'm never, ever, ever going to let it go that John Collins is gone. So be prepared to continue to hear that forever, as long as I'm on this show. But outside of that, I'm excited about our youngsters. We have a lot of talent, and I just want to see what we're going to do. So again, I'm not really concerned until after NBA All-Star break. After the break, when we come back, that's when I'm going to really start focusing like, hey, okay, we need to win this, we need to win that, because that's when teams are really going to focus on their placement. So right now, Jonathan, I'm not really concerned with the loss. It happens sometimes, but at least they won 4, they lost 1. To me, that's still a great record if you're looking at the last 5 games. So we'll see. You're muted. Yeah, so I'm not hitting the panic button yet.
Yeah, I guess what I'm disappointed is this is their second loss against the Bulls, and the Bulls are the team that are right in front of them. And I guess it's the way they lost. This went back to the Hawks that we saw before the winning streak. You know, gave up 76 points in the second half. You had not 1, not 2, but 4 Bulls players that had 20 points or more, led by DeMar DeRozan, Ayu Dosunmu, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, the guard. They both had 29 points. Ayu also had 7 assists. DeMar DeRozan, again, the guy, the perennial all-star, I get it. Kobe White, 20 points. And Nikola Vukovic, the center, also had 24 points and 11 rebounds. And a lot of that came because of the fact that Clint Capella was out. So I guess that's my disappointment, that they kind of fell back into that same old story. Like I said, 70 points in, you're talking about 37 points in the third quarter, 39 points in the fourth quarter. Yeah, you just can't give up 76 points in a half. I mean, that's where my disappointment is.
Yeah, that is a lot. You have to play defense. Yeah, no, I agree.
And you look at the shooting for the game, not for a quarter, for the game. The Bulls shot 56% from the floor and overall, and then they also hit 46% of their three-pointers. Yeah, you can't allow that. And once again, we hear Quinn Buckner coming on talking about the same old story. They didn't close to the ball, and we didn't rotate enough on defense. I guess I'm so tired of hearing that. I mean, if you know that's the story, if you know that's the problem, why can't you do something to get it fixed? All right, let's go to social media here.
Todd Tree, they lose a lot. Okay, let me be honest. I haven't really been watching the Hawks as much as I usually do. So my bad, but I'm keeping hope alive, right? But as you guys know, I've been traveling. Ty said, Tree is so nice to the Hawks. Tree be on the Titanic telling everybody it's just some water. Don't panic. That's a good one, Ty.
The ever optimist Tree. Come on, folks. You'll be all right.
I believe, remember, that was the saying last year, believe. So again, I'm not going to panic until after NBA All-Star break. After that, that's when it's like, okay, we need these wins. We have to make sure we're top 6. We don't want to be top 8, but hey, if we have to do a play-in tournament, we will. But I prefer top 6 and up. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
I still have hope for the Hawks.
No, listen, I mean, the team is just, it's been the whole problem with this team. It's not quite as bad as the Falcons, but it's a situation where they're just inconsistent. I mean, we can't get them to be consistent. That's where the problem is. And again, the reason why I talked about this game is that if they had won this game, it would have put them in a position where there'd been a dead tie for the Bulls for the number 9 spot. Now, once again, not only are the Hawks in the 10th spot, but the Bulls have a 2-game advantage if you even at the tiebreaker, because they've lost both games to the Bulls so far. So, you're right. There's hope. Believe it or not, as bad as the Hawks have played, they're still only, shockingly, 5.5 games out of the 6th spot. That's it. So,
and we know that it's something about that All-Star break. Players come back refreshed. It's a brand new season. So I have high hopes after the break, after they get some rest, they rejuvenate, they go on vacations. It's just, it's a long season. So I really think after the break, they'll come back better. Todd, Tree, the fat lady, is on stage and mic in hand. Is it that bad, Todd?
Yeah, I mean,
you're a comedian, Todd.
Check this out. Remember we talked about, for those of you who missed the segment, Sully's son had a birthday, so he took him to Chuck E. Cheese. He finally posted, when he said it was expensive, he just posted how much it cost. Look at this for the family.
Okay. Wait, what? Sullivan. Hold up.
I don't know what you bought, bro, but I mean, you must have bought the whole store out. $700.
Hold up, Sullivan. $700. Okay, wait. You had to have pay for a party, right? I'm assuming that you invited a lot of kids and you paid for everybody, because I know they do the birthday parties and all that.
Right.
So
yeah.
I can see with but woo, that's even higher than it used to be for birthday parties there. I thought the birthday parties were like 300, 400.
Well, and that's the problem. Everything has went up and really skyrocketed. Yeah. So that's shit. For $700, yeah, man. I would have we would have had to have the Chuck E. Cheese man come out to the backyard or something. Yeah, $700.
Right. $700. Woo!
Yeah, no, ma'am, no, sir.
We know that you love your son, and I know your son appreciated it all.
And there's no doubt. And like you said, the one thing is with kids, they appreciate things. They even appreciate when they're older. I mean, my daughter is in her 40s now, and we went on a trip to Lake Tahoe. It was her first really big trip when she was, I guess she was 21. We still talk about that trip now. She tells all her friends, like, yeah, my dad took me to Lake Tahoe. And we had a good time.
I'm telling you, when I was younger, my father used to always take me putt-putting. Not miniature golf, because it wasn't called miniature golf. We called it putt-putting. And
putt-putt, you're surely right.
Right. Yep. And that is why I'm so good with my short game, because my father and I, we will always go putt-putting. And sure enough, everybody always tells me, even the professionals, so it's not just me, they're like, oh my goodness, your putting is amazing. I'm like, thank you to my father, because he always used to take me putt-putting. But we do remember, and it's about those memories. It's priceless, honestly. So I love that you did that. And speaking of that, on our next break, I have something to show you guys.
Okay, well, we'll take that break right now, and then we'll be back, guys, with more of the Real Talk Sports Show. So please don't go anywhere. Thank you, and thank you. I'm going to find a little different commercial. We're going to give a big shout out to our guy, Tyrone Poole. Here we go.
Yeah.
This is your time to get what you want. Go work that thing with Work That Thing supplements.
My guys, we're here.
No, okay, enough of that. Yeah, so that's big shout out to our buddy Tyrone Poole. Appreciate him. I know he's got a full schedule, could not join us this evening, but big shout out to Tyrone. Again, you're watching the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister Jonathan Simmons, and right next to me, the lovely Queen Tree Dolman is in the building as well. All right, Tree, I know you got some breaking news. So without further ado, floor is yours.
All right. So I was just talking about my father. And people always hear me say I have the best father in the world. So look what my daddy got me for Valentine's Day.
Whoa. And
do you see how large this is?
OMG.
Like you know how tall I am, right?
Right.
That
is ginormous.
It's huge.
That's incredible.
And look, it has a box of chocolates. And look at this bear. Because my daddy knows I love teddy bears. It's so sweet. Oh, so I just wanted to share that. I have the best daddy in the world. He's the sweetest. I love my daddy.
That's how dads do it. That's how they do it. That's why you're a daddy's girl.
I am a daddy's girl.
We're going to get more football talk. I'm going to show you a little bit more clips of some of the things that we did. Okay, so NFL, Tasty NFL, take a look at these tasty morsels here by one of the vendors.
Okay,
so
which team was that?
That was actually wasn't a team. I'm trying to think who the player was that was at that. I can't think of it now. But anyway, that was I don't know if that was Ahai Tuna or not, but
that's what I'm saying. Was it the San Francisco 49ers?
I couldn't tell because the guy was the way he was situated. I couldn't see who the player was that was representing because they put different players around with the different restaurants. So I couldn't really tell who was there. And the interesting thing was, it seemed like all the events that they had were the biggest because so many people were there for Vegas. I mean, literally, this was like an indoor-outdoor kind of thing. They had, I think, almost 40 restaurants. The food was incredible. I'm not a big sushi guy, but if you like sushi, there you go.
Well, the reason I ask is because every year for the Taste of the NFL, my husband was at the San Francisco 49er table or booth, whatever you want to call it. And that looks just like the chef because even when we were in Hawaii at our hotel, he has a restaurant downstairs and that's what he serves. And they go out and they fish it and they bring it fresh and cook it. So when I saw that, I was like, I bet you that's the same chef. And I bet you that was the San Francisco 49er because every team has a player. And my husband was always with the 49er chef because it's, each chef does it. But I promise when you showed that, I was like, that looks just like his. So I bet you that was his. It looks amazing, and the food is always
really was phenomenal. Another thing we do is the annual Super Bowl prayer breakfast. This year, Man of the Year winner, former Alabama Crimson Tide star, and now the hard-hitting safety of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Minkah Fitzpatrick. Let's see if we can get some of his comments really quickly.
1, 2, 3. Questions for you, but before we get with those questions, man, what are you feeling? Like, what's this mean to you?
It feels awesome. To be honest, I didn't realize, how big a deal this was and what all this meant to so many different people.
Hey y'all, we're live here at the press conference, and it's an exciting environment. There's lots of energy. We're gonna see.
Okay, so that was Minkah Patrick accepting the award. You can see he was kind of startled. He didn't realize that the athletes in action had the Super Bowl breakfast because, once again, because it was in Las Vegas, it set a record. I think there were over 1,200 people there, a capacity crowd, and he had the honor of having his coach come out, Mr. Mike Tomlin, who said, "I'm not staying here." He said, "Because I never come to the Super Bowl unless I'm working." So Mike was like, "I'm out of here." But that was good to see him. And like I say, guys, check back on our page on Real Talk Sports on YouTube as we continue to load up these interviews. Let's go back to social media real quick before we talk more of the Super Bowl.
Okay. And then I have a question for you, Jonathan. And I still have an announcement that I have to make. I didn't make
All
it
right.
yet. Okay.
Let's go here to what we got here. It's Todd. Yep.
Todd, I'm going to ask y'all a serious question. Do you believe in the dark forces, demonic forces? Because it was at work at Super Bowl. I will say this, Todd. Just like there's good, there's evil.
Yeah, and I if I had more time, I would kind of get into it a little bit more. I don't have the time. I will tell you that it's an interesting vibe. I mean, especially some places I went, like I had to go to I think it was going to a Taste of NFL venue. To get there, I had to kind of go through like a back part of Las Vegas. I was like, oh, this for grown folk back here. This not for amateurs. Yeah.
Wait,
Lot was kind of I said this for grown folks back here. I mean, what I saw, I somehow went down the street and the sign said the world's largest erotica museum. And I'll leave it there. It was just, a lot of, Anyway, all that being said, at the end of the day, there's a lot of stuff that's going on right now. Like, so I really can't get into it now. I'm only about, 4 or 5 minutes left. And we certainly want to talk about the Super Bowl and, good, bad, or indifferent on that. And we also want to let Tree make her announcement. So before we go any further, because you know how you guys do it, we'll start chopping up. Everybody get excited. We have breaking news from the lovely Miss Tree Doman.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So after we played the NFL flag football game for the wives, I was walking through the NFL experience, and who do I see but the one and only former Detroit Lion quarterback Dan Orlovsky. And so I go up to his PR, and I just wanted to say something really quickly to him. And she was saying, well, he'll be done at 6:30, or you can get in line and do this. And when I went in line, I looked, and I was like, oh, so it was like you were doing a show with him. So they gave you a script. You got to go up on stage next to him, meet him, and then read a script. And they had a video playing. And so it was like you and I, Jonathan, but only if we were in a studio and all of that. So it was so much fun. And so I'm going to post it on my social media. I'll also send it to you, Jonathan. But it was so much fun. They emailed it to me, and it was just a blast. I just hated that I was in my NFL flag football and not really dressed up like I always am. But I just wanted to say that because it was so much fun to do that. And I was just like, oh my goodness, like this is exciting.
Well, you never know. Sometimes from the smallest of beginnings, we don't know what may happen. So congratulations. I'm glad you had fun, because it's kind of fun when you do those things, because it really, if I'm thinking right, they set it up like you're in the booth. I mean, it's really a nice setup. So that's a Tree in the building. Who knows? We might be saying so long to Tree sooner rather than later. Hey, see you, boys. I'm heading out. All right. Super Bowl guys, question: do you think that was a situation where Kansas City just played better and they, kind of basically won this? Or is it a situation, do you think that Frisco blew this game? What do you think, Tree? Do you think it was just, hey, that they were better in the second half, or did Frisco make some moves that, kind of cost them the game?
So I think Kansas City just played better. Because the game was so tight, they just had to go back and forth. I also think it was a problem when some of the players and the coaches said that they did not realize the rule change at overtime in football for the Super Bowl, which I thought was kind of strange, because I'm going to need for you to understand the rules, especially if you're a coach or a player. But that could have made a difference in some of their decisions. But I think Kansas City just played harder. That's my opinion. I don't feel like the 49ers beat themselves in that game. What's your opinion?
Yeah, so first I kind of thought that Shanahan kind of misplayed his hand. I thought he should have run the ball more. But when I look at the stats, when I pull them up, in essence, they did what you have to do. I was thinking that your offensive player of the year, Christian McCaffrey, should get the ball a lot, and he basically did. He actually had 30 touches. He had 22 carries for 80 yards, but he also had 8 receptions as well. So that's 30 touches. I mean, I don't know how many more times you could have given him the ball. So at first I thought, yeah, Shanahan screwed everything up. They should have run it more. But like I said, McCaffrey had the ball a lot. And so I don't like I said, I don't know how much more you could have given him the ball. I still just think they should have found some other way to run more. Also, the other thing too is, which is kind of interesting, a lot of people lambasted him about taking the ball first. Well, okay, here's the thing. That sounds good on paper, but at the end of the day, you go down and score a touchdown. Now you make it almost impossible for the other team to win the game because they need a touchdown just to tie you. So I don't know. I mean, I'm still kind of up in the air on that. Um, all I know is this: it was a great game. They went
It
back and
was.
forth.
I think
They
it would have
kept
been
everybody
better if the
glued.
Lions were playing, but hey, I'm biased. I know. I'm biased.
Listen, you know what the crazy thing is? You should have heard some Packer fans. I heard Packer fans talking. They were like, see, this shows we're the best team in football. We beat the 49ers, we beat the Chiefs, and we beat the Lions. And I'm like,
They beat us once. We beat them
right.
once. So
But it doesn't really quite
they
work
need
that
to sit
way. I
down
mean,
somewhere.
yeah, regular season, you can't really.
Yeah.
Anyway, it
Like
was an
honestly,
epic
the
game.
Lions, we weren't up for the challenge, period. Because if it was meant for us to go to the Super Bowl, we would have played a better 30 minutes and finished the game. We didn't do it. The San Francisco 49ers beat us that day, so they deserve to be there, period. So I know I'm biased, but I'm also a realist. So
yeah, I mean, it was just, it's one of those things. That's the bottom line. I mean, not much you can do about it. A lot of teams beat teams in the regular season, but the playoffs are different. The intensity is different. And if you ask your coach, he would tell you that he probably in that game was maybe a little bit too hype, especially going for it on fourth down as much as he did. He'd probably tell you, he'd probably take that back. But that's neither here nor there. It kind of is what it is. What can you do? And the bottom line is they still had a phenomenal season. Can't take that away from them at all. I cannot believe it. Praise the Lord. The Lord is so good. I got to tell you the truth. When I first came on, I thought about doing an hour broadcast. I said, man, I'm not going to make it. But here we are. We're at the end. We made it. Dun, 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 dun. All right.
now
guys,
you put up a comment and you took it down.
Oh, hang on. Well, that's Todd still wants to kind of get into kind of that kind of demonic stuff. Yeah.
Next to the sweet had it upside down. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right. And listen, I'm not like I said, I don't have enough time because we got 2 minutes left. It has already been spoken about a lot. There's not like, going down a rabbit hole. Many Hollywood performers have attached a lot of demonic activity that's been going on in Hollywood. You can go on YouTube and check it out. And these people are very serious. I just saw something by Damon Wilson, who was with who did the Sanford Son. I know you young guys say Sanford and Son. Google it. And some nefarious stuff going on. But like I said, I can't get in tonight, guys. We might at some point down the road maybe do a special. We'll talk about that. But like I said, I just can't do it tonight because I'm tired and I got to go.
You need
before we do that, yeah, I need some sleep. Before we do that, guys, you know how we do it. We always want to make sure that you guys know how to find out more about our guest and co-host. So, the Queen, Tree Dolman, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Real Talk Sports. You can find me on social media at Purple Diva 13, as well as Ms. America International 2022. Hi.
There it is. The glamorous queen has spoken. All right, guys. I am in fact a real life minister. So you saw some of the comments here. I'm just going to encourage you, like I do each and every week. If you do not know the Lord Jesus Christ as your personal Savior, it is imperative that you do so today. Lots of stuff going on. That's the only way you can get to heaven is if you repent of your sins and believe in Him. And here's the good news. He didn't just die on the cross, but He rose from the dead. And because of that, if you believe, two great things happen. Number one, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number two, you become an adopted child of God with all the rights therein. That means you can now go to God like a heavenly parent, ask Him for anything you need or desire, and according to His will, He'll give it to you. And when time is done here on the earth, you get to go to that wonderful, spectacular, beautiful place called heaven, where there's none of the following: no pain, no pandemic, no bad people. You never get old. You never get sick. You never die. And guess what? You now see God, the creator of everything, face to face. Jesus Christ face to face, all the people of love. And you're with them forever. And you avoid that nasty place called hell. All the things I just mentioned that are in heaven won't be in hell. It's dark, it's dreary. You think about this. Being with the devil, all those demons, all the bad dictators and evil people, serial killers on the earth. and you're kept away from all the people of love and from God forever and a day. I don't know about you, but I like option number one instead of option number two. All right, guys, until the next time we get back together again, you know how we do it. We simply say, God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of the day or evening, whichever may apply. So long and take care.